We are right now at the peak of the January transfer window, but what is actually happening in the market at the moment? And what are the trends among the 700 plus clubs and 400 plus agencies that do business on TransferRoom? We have analyzed the latest data from World Football's digital marketplace to find out where the deals are happening and what you need to know about the market this month. This window has been our most global to date. Last window, 23% of all interest sent on TransferRoom was to clubs or agencies in different continents. So far this window, that number has grown to 32%, meaning almost a third of transfer activity is happening across continents. And many leagues are sending interest to other continents more than 50% of the time. That includes the top divisions in Japan, Brazil, and Croatia. There is no shortage of clubs that have already hit the ground running to secure impactful deals on TransferRoom this winter. Atletico de San Luis recently signed exciting striker Frederik Broholt from Portland Timbers. This continues the trend of marquee January signings from the Mexican club on TransferRoom. Last year, they signed a Bundesliga midfielder on loan, Mateo Klimovic, and brought in Premier League striker Leo Bonatini permanently. And this month, they also made the Klimovic deal permanent. Manjaka James became Alajuelense's first TransferRoom deal since becoming Costa Rica's first member club on TransferRoom. El Hefti moved from Genoa to Montpellier on loan with a €3 million option to buy. And finally, a promotion-chasing side in England's League Two, Stockport County, made the exciting signing of Ethan Bristow from Major League Soccer's Minnesota United, showing the global potential for lower league clubs as well as top-tier sides. So far this month, we're seeing three major trends in transfer activity. Firstly, some positions are in exceptionally high demand this winter. As we'll show shortly, specialist attacking and defensive midfielders seem to be particularly important positions for clubs right now. Secondly, certain regions seem to be particularly hot markets this window and appear to have much higher transfer budgets than they did last year. These include the top divisions in Romania, Czech Republic, Greece, and France. And finally, top leagues, including top leagues in Turkey, Colombia, and Hungary, are typically selling players for lower values than we'd expect, based on their expected transfer value. We'll show you how the best markets in which to get a good deal this January. Because so many clubs on TransferRoom post ads and pitch players, we can generate unique insights into the demand and supply dynamics of the transfer market at any given point in time. Where a position is over the number one, it means there are more ads created than players pitched, meaning that that position is in high demand and vice versa. So far this window, this has produced a few highlights. There is higher demand for specialist midfielders than there is supply, so now is the perfect time to get maximum sale value for these players. This window is also the first time that forwards haven't been the most in-demand position, with defensive midfielders being the most in-demand position globally right now. The other big takeaway is that for most positions, supply of players is slightly higher than we would expect versus demand. That means that right now is as good a time as ever to buy players and get a great deal. By comparing ads posted by clubs on TransferRoom between windows, we can also see which leagues are typically looking to buy higher value players than they've done in previous windows. What you see on this slide are hot markets of 2024 so far, with these leagues typically posting ads for much higher transfer fees than they were this time last year. In Romania, for example, the average ad posted last year was for around €70,000. That has now increased to over €400,000 in 2024. Outside of Europe, clubs in the Argentinian top division and Liga MX in Mexico also seem to be targeting higher value players. Ads posted by clubs in both of these leagues have increased in value by around €500,000 on average. So if you're looking to sell a player this window, these could be the markets to target. By comparing the value that players are pitched for on TransferRoom with their expected transfer value, or XTV as we call it, we can identify which leagues are typically open to selling players for less than the data suggests they could be worth. On average, clubs might be able to get a better deal by buying players from some of the leagues shown here with high value for money in the Americas and Europe. Our platform activity and the size of the TransferRoom network has hit record highs this window. In every day of January so far, more than 1,000 individual decision makers have used the TransferRoom platform. That's around 50% more users than the same time last year. That wraps up our summary of the transfer market trends on TransferRoom so far this winter. Now, it's time for you as club decision makers and agents to maximize this market intelligence and use that to accelerate your transfer plans for the window through the connections that you make here at the Winter Deal Day on the TransferRoom platform.